Welcome to Higher Impact, where we're inspiring your now and empowering your future. I'm your host, Teresa Hairston, and we've got a very special show in store for you. On this episode of Higher Impact, as we celebrate Father's Day, we dedicate this show to all the amazing fathers, both young and not so young. In the midst of so many of our brothers being gunned down by police violence, dynamic dads across the globe are the heroes of our families and our communities, and we're so grateful for your contributions. The Bible admonishes parents in Proverbs 22:6 to train up a child in the way they should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. On this show, we'll talk to a couple dynamic dads at different ends of the spectrum. Let's kick it off with Dr. DhariusDaniels, a dedicated father and pastor of Change Church based in New Jersey. Dr. Daniels has successfully cultivated a thriving ministry that offers innovation as well as solid biblical teaching, training, and discipleship. So thank you so much for being my guest on Higher Impact.
Of course, you're a legend, and so it's my honor just to connect with you and have a conversation about everything that's going on nowadays, right?
Yeah, this is unprecedented. Of course, we've heard that word many times. But in your ministry, I am told that before the shutdown, you were already preparing or prepared really to reach out, over the internet, and you'd already been doing that.
Yeah, I feel like we were as prepared as we could be. I mean, obviously, we didn't know anything like this was going to happen, but we did realize a while ago that the largest mission field was the digital mission field, and that we had just hit a time in a season where we had to begin to think differently about what it means to reach people and how to disciple people and how to serve people. So I feel like having that infrastructure in place really served us well during this pandemic. We had to make some minor tweaks and adjustments, but not major ones. I feel like we were pretty prepared.
And so what is it that is in your head, your heart, about how to serve people that really transcends the traditional, but yet continues to keep the fire?
Yeah, I just think one of the things that was really important for us is recognizing, I think, and I pretty much believe you said it, recognize the importance of synergy and blending and not changing the content, what we're delivering, but changing the transportation system, changing how we do, not changing what we deliver, but changing how we deliver it to the people. And I feel like prior to this pandemic, there would be people who may say, oh, you can't deliver that through technology. You can't deliver that through the internet. Then a pandemic happens, we have to quarantine, and then everybody is saying, well, actually, you can deliver this through.
So tell me, let's break that down. When you say you can't deliver, tell me some of those stories.
Yeah, so for example, let's just take something like, let's not even take worship online, because people have been streaming for a while.
Yeah.
Let's take something like discipleship sessions. Let's take something like counseling. Let's take something like this Sunday coming up, I'm doing my first virtual baby dedication.
Wow.
I've never done that, but the family wants to do it. And so there's a link that's going out, obviously, to the family, and they're sending that link to all of their family members. And I'm going to dedicate their baby, and I'm going to guide them through dedicating it, but the parents are actually going to be dedicating their own baby. So I feel like, that is an example where someone would say, hey, you can't dedicate a baby virtually, or you can't counsel someone virtually, or you can't have support groups and provide ministry to people virtually. And so we've done all of that, and we have seen in every instance, Teresa, exponential increase in our impact.
Did you have a ministry pattern that helped you to say, I've got to be, broader than the tradition?
Teresa, I grew up in Kilmichael, Mississippi. I grew up in Gilmichael, Mississippi. My dad, a Baptist pastor, my whole life. So no, like multicultural ministry, multi-generational ministry, different socioeconomic classes. It was none of that. It was primarily lower working class, rural churches that I grew up as a part of. And wow. I just think one of the things that happened is I was just as surprised as anybody else when it came to some of the barriers, right, that we were able to cross. I will say that there's one thing, and this is kind of a God factor, I think. I will say my time in the South, and then especially experiencing and witnessing things like racism. In Mississippi, the part of Mississippi I was in, and I'm not saying it was an overtly racist place, but there was blatant racism that I dealt with. And one of the things that I had a passion for is I saw, like, I couldn't see, even when I wasn't in the church like that, I couldn't understand, like, how are you that way and then you going to church Sunday? Like, what is it about your religion? Like you say, we worship the same Jesus. What is it about your religion that is not transforming the hate in your heart towards someone else just because of the color of their skin? So I say all that to say, sometimes the problem that bothers you the most is the thing you've been called to solve.
And finally, as we approach this month where Father's Day is one of the big celebrations,
yes,
I think it's Mother's Day. But what would you say as a father and two fathers out there to encourage them in this season?
Thank you for asking that, Teresa. Nobody asks that. Nobody asks that. I just want to thank you for asking that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there are times, and I deal with this as a pastor, I get this from dads. There are times where, rightfully so, I get it, the focus is so much on the father deficit that the fathers that are actually trying to figure it out, many of whom, especially if they're my age, 7 out of 10 of them didn't even grow up with a dad in the home. So many, they're trying to figure it out by themselves. And some of them, even if they're coming up short, they're giving it everything that they got. And sometimes they feel so under-resourced, so overlooked, so unappreciated. So the fact that you say, hey, let's encourage them, right? Because we need encouragement. I don't know if you can see this. I got these words on my wall, Think Big. I put this on my wall in my office. This is the first book my dad gave me.
Wow.
He walked into my room. I was young, maybe 10 years old. And it's the first book he gave me. And it shaped and it framed the way. And he doesn't even know this is on my wall. And I said all that to say this. I want to encourage the dads with this. I want to encourage them. When you're a dad, you got to recognize that sometimes the value you bring to your kid's life sometimes won't be seen till they're old enough to appreciate it. You got to play the long game. So just because you aren't getting your flowers now, just because the child is not responding in a way that makes you feel like they were getting it. When my dad gave me that book, I probably threw it on the bed or something like that. But now I have such appreciation for a man that would invest in that.
Bookstoliveby.com helps you publish your passion. If you've got a book in your head or heart, allow Bookstoliveby.com to help you get it out and into the hands of the masses. Join other writers who have become published authors with Books to Live By. Bookstoliveby.com offers publishing consultation as well as full ghostwriting services, professional and priced right with ministry in mind. Remember, ministry comes in different formats. Contact us today and allow us to help make your publishing dreams come true. In July of 2019, Bishop Paul Morton, one of the most respected and admired fathers of the faith, announced that he would retire from pastoring in July 2020. But after the pandemic hit, he decided to stay on and shepherd his flock until a cure was found. Bishop Morton is a man of legacy and influence, and we're so honored to have him as our guest on this Father's Day special. Well, welcome to Higher Impact, and I'm with one of my favorite people in the world. He is the founder of the Full Gospel Baptist Fellowship, as well as the pastor of the Changing a Generation Church in Atlanta, Georgia. He is my friend, my pastor, Bishop Paul Morton. Welcome to Higher Impact.
Well, it is so good to be with you, Dr. Teresa Hairston. You've been special to me, so many years of my life, and I am just honored to be with you and to be a part. I have arrived to Higher Impact. This is amazing. It's the one and only Dr. Teresa Hairston.
Wow. Well, we are so thankful to have you, even though we're all locked down and we can't look at each other across the pulpit today. But I know that during COVID-19 and during the lockdown, you have been faithful to preach and to teach every week. How's that been, just to be, by yourself and just a few people as opposed to the norm?
Well, you know, what makes it, I guess, exciting for me, because I don't believe you have to have a big crowd to give God the glory. And what was important to me was going to the sanctuary. That's where we do our services from, and having a praise team, because if I can have those and 9 of us that can help us enter into the presence of God together, it makes the difference. And then taking the 9, working along with us, knowing that we're ministering to the world, I just believe I have to give it all my energy. I give God my best, because there are people who are on lockdown and they really are looking for a word from the Lord to help them through what they're going through. So it has been a different kind of experience, but I thank God for the experience.
BooksToLiveBy.com helps you publish your passion. If you've got a book in your head or heart, allow BooksToLiveBy.com to help you get it out and into the hands of the masses. Join other writers who have become published authors with Books to Live By. BooksToLiveBy.com offers publishing consultation as well as full ghostwriting services, professional and priced right with ministry in mind. Remember, ministry comes in different formats. Contact us today and allow us to help make your publishing dreams come true. And I know that you have been an outspoken critic of the presidential administration, the current presidential administration, and President Trump and a number of Republican governors, including the governor of the state of Georgia, have really told people, go back, open up, do what you've been normally doing. What do you say to the body of Christ, and even to people around the nation?
Well, it is very, very important. And what disturbs me, even as it relates to the President of the United States, when you put politics over people, when you put the economy over people. He bragged for 3.5 years, the best economy in the world. And so sometimes God allows things to happen to try to humble you, to bring you down to where you need to be. Now it's the worst economy ever. And so he's got to be able to deal with that. You can't talk about the past economy. A lot of presidents had good economy that went into recession. That's what he's dealing with, but it's hard for him to deal with that. I just believe he has to be honest. If anybody, just like a pastor, he ought to be protecting the nation. That let's take this slow. Let's take it right. Let's make sure we have everything in place instead of trying to rush people and then trying to make people feel bad. Liberate this nation, liberate this state, liberate that state. Listen, we've got to be careful. So that's why I pray for him. And I guess I'm old-fashioned because my mother always taught me, she said, don't trust a liar. And when you got 16,000 lies under your belt, how in the world are you going to trust somebody as it relates to what he's saying? It scares me that people will still even trust him.
Wow. And so I guess going into the 2020 presidential elections, how are you prepared to help mobilize the community to vote for someone else?
Oh God, we have to. I just believe that this is where our problem is. It's at the head. And I believe that, when you're able to get away with the power, the President of the United States has a lot of power. When you're able to block your taxes, when you're able to stop people from testifying that know things that you have done, but you're able to stop witnesses. But there's one you cannot stop. You cannot stop God. And see, when God allowed, he didn't have to cause it, but if he allowed the coronavirus, this is one thing that he is unable to stop. And I believe that this is a sign for us, even to bring the church back into order. Because I love all my brothers and sisters, but white evangelicals, when we don't teach those that are doing wrong to repent, we're not fulfilling our purpose. We cannot be so aligned with wrong and trying to have power and trying to have money that we don't tell people the truth. And so I believe that God is upset with many in the church because there are those who have had the ear of the president that have not told him the truth. So I believe that this is a sign. A few months before a new election is for us to wake up. We got to vote. We got to do it like never before because too many people have been hurt. I've never seen so much division in a nation. This is supposed to be United States of America. We've really got to, if we're going to save this country, we're going to have to get out and vote. Are we really do? And I hope even with we can take it to the next level of mailing in, however we have to do it. We don't know how long this virus is going to last, but if we got to do it one way or the other, we got to do it. We got to. I'm encouraging everybody. If you've never voted before, you need to do it.
Amen. That's a great message and a powerful message. We got to vote. We got to do something. And I know that as a father of faith, many millions of people have heard the name, the music of Paul Morton. And in this season, I know that you announced your retirement and you've been pastoring almost a half a century.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. But preaching forever. But how in this season as a father do you, still speak into your natural and your spiritual children?
Well, I believe as a father, it's very important to me. And one thing I believe, and I thank God for all of my three children, first of all, is that a father must be an example, not just talk, but a father has to be an example. I have two daughters, and both of them are married, but I wanted them to be able to see and to know, and they would never have to be confused. Even with their husbands, I know how a man is supposed to treat his wife. I know because I watched my daddy. And with my son, my only son, where he's able to look at his life and say, I know how to treat a wife because of my daddy. I know how to treat a woman. I know how with my daughters, how a man is supposed to treat a woman. All of this becomes important when you lead by example. And so that's what I wanted to be for my children. Of course, my father died when I was 12 years old. And so I really didn't have examples after 12 years old. And my big brother, who went on home to be with the Lord from the coronavirus, was like a father to me. I was 12 years old. He was 19 years old. And he really had to take the lead and the example there. And he helped me so much in that area. But there was so much that I already had instilled within me by watching my father. From growing up until I was 12 years old, from a baby to 12 years old, examples are important. And so they knew that how I acted at home, that's how I acted at church. They was, oh, Lord Jesus, I hope Daddy don't cuss nobody out today, because they didn't get cussed out at home. They got disciplined. They got the things that were necessary. So to me, that is really the key in whatever you're doing. And you don't really have to just leave it in the natural. That's the way it is in the spiritual. When I look at thousands and thousands of spiritual children, they look at your life. Character is who you really are. Personality is who people think you are. So when people are able to see your true character, who you really are, that's what they are able to follow. There are people who will follow you for a moment if you just a crook and you just lie and you just do this and you just do that. But when the storm comes, they're looking for something that is real. So that's why I encourage, and even during this time of celebrating fathers, be real, be that example. That's what people are looking for, and learn how important that is. My children understood. Look, I'm there. We have fun together. We vacation together, but I'm not your running buddy.
That's
I'm
right.
your daddy. And they understood that growing up. And so you have to always keep that kind of distinction so that we can make a difference. So I'm a proud dad.
BooksToLiveBy.com helps you publish your passion. If you've got a book in your head or heart, allow BooksToLiveBy.com to help you get it out and into the hands of the masses. Join other writers who have become published authors with Books to Live By. BooksToLiveBy.com offers publishing consultation as well as full ghostwriting services, professional and priced right with ministry in mind. Remember, ministry comes in different formats. Contact us today and allow us to help make your publishing dreams come true. Bishop, you are amazing. As we leave, and thank you again for joining us, I know that after almost half a century of preaching, singing, doing all that you've done for the kingdom, there are some things that you want us to remember about Paul S. Morton. What are those things?
Oh, well, how would I really want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as somebody who believed in telling people the truth. A part of being a part of the kingdom, and I want to be remembered as a serious kingdom representative. I represent the kingdom. I've got my orders from the king. Tell people, I want this to happen on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I don't want to be remembered as somebody who just blended in with the crowd. But I believe as a kingdom representative, kingdom representatives stand out. And so you cannot stand out if you blend in. So we stand out with truth. We stand out with honesty. We stand out with love. So these are the kind of things that I want to be remembered as a true man of faith. I want somebody, if I'm walking down the street, for somebody to say, oh, there goes that old faithless Paul Morton. I want them to say, there goes a man of faith. I've seen him go through some storms, cancer, breakdown. I've seen him go through a hurricane. I've seen him go through this and that, but he trusted God. I want to always be remembered as a man of faith.
Thank you for joining us. We certainly appreciate the privilege of your time. And here at Higher Impact, we're committed to keeping you connected to the information and inspiration that feeds your faith and starves your fears. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode. Please take a few minutes and connect with me on social media at Dr. T. Hairston or on my website, TeresaHairston.com. We look forward to seeing you right here, same time, same place, next week for more Higher Impact. And listen, as we leave tonight, be blessed by the sounds of Bishop Paul S. Morton.
Whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Come on, help me say it. Whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it. You gotta tell them for yourself. You gotta tell them for yourself. Don't do it without me. Come on, say it like you mean it. Lord, whatever you're doing healing tonight, if you need a healing, just say, Lord, if you're healing in this season, please don't do it without me. No, 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 no. I don't care what the sickness is. Lord, if you heal it. Lord, if you heal it. I know you heal it. Healing in this season. Please don't do it without me. No, 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 no. Anybody need a blessing? Anybody need a blessing? Lord, if you're blessing in this season, please don't do it without me. I don't want you to do it without me. Don't do it without. I know you got a lot of people to take care of, but Lord, if you're blessing, if you're blessing, and I know that you are, please don't do it without me. No, 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 no. Don't do it without. I just want you to say that last line. Say that last line. Don't do it without me. Let me hear you say it. Don't do it without me. Please, Jesus. Don't do it without me. I know you got a lot of people to take care of. I need you. I need you. I want you to say it without the music. Don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. You gotta say it like you mean it. Don't do it. If you wanna be included, anybody wanna be included? I wanna be in the number, Jesus. Please, please don't. Please don't. Please don't do it without me. No, no, no. Don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Anybody want to be included tonight? I dare you to look up and say, don't do it without me, Jesus. Don't do it without me. I need a healing tonight. I know you're healing somebody, but don't do it without me.